I just wanted to talk a little bit about supercharging etiquette, especially pulling a trailer. Now, pulling a trailer with the electric is something somewhat new and something that's going to become insanely more frequent now that the Model X officially supports towing and we have the Eco Hitch, and who knows what's coming. Apparently, Elon did mention a Tesla truck. We got Tesla semis, so who knows what's going to end up being in store for us down the line. But one thing's for certain, not all the superchargers are trailer friendly. Now there are some, like this, that have a pull-in stall. Now, not always the most available, but it is the best option if you're going to just be charging a short time, is using a pull-in stall. Now, if you're at a location that does not have a pull-in stall and only has back-end slots, you still have a couple options. Now, if possible, and in the location such as this one is empty and you're the only car there, and you will be staying with your vehicle, not going off to eat somewhere, and the key word is staying with your vehicle, then feel free to park sideways and do it in a manner that still uses as few stalls as possible. I only recommend that if it's going to be a short stop and you're going to be staying with your vehicle. Now, if it's going to be a longer stop, or you're going to go get something to eat or use the restroom, please disconnect your trailer if it is safe to do so, and park your trailer in a open free space that does not use up a supercharging stall. So in this case, it worked out great. Now, we have locations like Madison, Wisconsin, where there's only 3 total stalls due to the ignorance of the mall not wanting to lose parking spaces and then Xing them out the additional spots so no one can park there anyways. Now, you might have seen some pictures floating around of me hogging up 2 stalls, which still left a pull-in stall for somebody else. Now, in that location, a pull-in stall would not be ideal, as the trailer would be sticking out, blocking the thoroughfare where the cars for the mall would be driving. In that case, someone did post a little complaint on PlugShare about it, at least it seemed like it, but in that case, the idea way is, when I got there was nobody there, so I did block, or I used one stall and blocked another, but I took the end stall. So in that case, I used the end stall for charging, and then I ended up blocking stall number 2. Now, if it would have been full or a lot busier, which just as we completed charging, 2 more Model S's pulled up, but at that time I disconnected and moved out of the way. But we stayed with the vehicle at all times, so in case someone else did show up, I could have moved. It was a short stop at that location. But in the case of that, now, if I was, once again, going to leave the vehicle, then I would have disconnected and parked it in a parking space next to me. However, that was a short drive, so we didn't need too much power, just enough to make it the last 40 miles to my parents' home. This time, we are going cross-country. So we are going to be stopping quite a bit, so I'm sure I'll be disconnecting the trailer a few times. Now, some of the newer stations, such as in California and down south, well, pretty much all the newer stations are starting to incorporate more pull-in, which is ideal. Now, if you're someone that has one of the luggage baskets on the back of your vehicle, 95% of those luggage baskets will, even unless you have something really hanging far over the back, but 95% of those will still allow you to back in close enough where the supercharger cable will still reach. Because look at this, that cable still reaches pretty darn far. So considering plug into your charge port there, and most of those, especially if you have air suspension where you can raise it, will clear the curbs that Tesla has put in. I know because I used about 40 superchargers last summer with one of those, and mine was a larger carry rack on the back, and we had no problems whatsoever, and I had it fully loaded. You'll watch my West Coast road trip video from last year and you can see that rack on the back. For bicycle racks, those can stick out slightly. However, those are definitely up higher, which allows you to clear the curbs as well. So if when in doubt, don't be afraid to get out of your vehicle, because not always the backup camera can give you a good view. But get out and judge your distance. If it looks like everything's good, back up a few more inches, or even have a passenger in your vehicle get out and direct you. I mean, it's okay. So if you can, back in. You have almost no reason. Maybe, of course, like I said, 5% of the time, those racks don't fit. In that case, either remove the rack or do a sideways park. At least in this case, with one of those racks, unlike the trailer, you could do a sideways park without blocking any additional superchargers. You'd only be using the one supercharger that is on the end, if so available. And of course, pull-in spaces always are best in that case as well. So once again, be courteous. And if you are going to end up blocking more than one supercharger stall, please stay with your vehicle. Or at the very least, Evanex.com, providers of awesome aftermarket Tesla accessories, have some really nice postcards, placards, that hang on your charging cable that you can put your phone number, email address, and approximately how long you will be charging on. So that way, if for some reason, say as you're traveling cross country, you got a case of the poops. And not to sound too crazy here, I'm sure some of you are chuckling, but if you get a case of the poops, sometimes it just can't wait. In that case, number one, find a space that is not a supercharger and just get out, do your business, come back, then plug in. Or if you find as you're getting there that you have enough time to plug in, I mean, even then, you really don't have an excuse. Just don't block stalls if you don't have to. If you do, stay with your vehicle. Be courteous, kind. We need to make this work. Right now, the Tesla fleet is fairly small. Yes, 160,000 produced vehicles. Actually, I think we're closer to 170,000 as of the making of this video. Is still a tiny fleet in the grand scheme of the world. But just remember, we have about 400,000 Model 3 pre-orders, and Tesla's going to really start pumping those out. And on top of that, they're still producing Model S and Model X vehicles. This is only going to get worse, the congestion at superchargers. I know Tesla's expanding them greatly. There's even some 20 and 25 stall stations open already. Please, just be courteous. We need this to work for everybody, so that way everybody can enjoy the benefits and privileges of being able to drive on pure 100% electric. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please post in the comment section below. If you have questions, post in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. That helps me continue to make videos for all of you. And please, if you're looking and interested in purchasing a Tesla Model X or Model S, please consider using my referral code located in the description box below. You'll save, at least at this time, an instant $1,000 off your purchase of a Model S or Model X. And that helps me get one step closer to getting to the next Tesla event, so that way I can bring you guys more news and more Tesla stuff and awesomeness. Cheers! Now on to our next stop, as this is actually the first stop in about 40 that we'll be making on the Tesla Electric Adventure, pulling our teardrop travel trailer. Salute!
Smile, cheese!